Well, a bit of a fail there on the first test, and we'll see if you can figure out why. Another fail, because I was wondering why things weren't moving as quick, but this antenna off this node had come off. So I just put it back on. Convenient thing about having a wireless tracker, you can remember where you left it. I'm out doing another field test of our mesh network communication hub. Pretty soon I'm going to traverse out this way, and I'm going to set up one of the nodes with the battery pack. I'll walk you through what we've got set up here and what I've done to kind of simulate a scenario that may not be super fantastic, but is quite easy to manage with what we have here. I left the Blue Eddy here. I left the house with it completely drained, and I've got the solar panel out, and as you can see, it's a cloudy day, but it is charging. It's getting 75 watts right now, and it's 2% charged after it's been charging for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And we've got two nodes plugged into it, the weather environmental sensor node and one which is the wireless tracker, and then the gateway hub, which is connected to the Starlink. And what I've also got here is I've got a smaller Blue Eddy unit. This is the Elite 10. It's basically a 200 watt battery that's got, you know, the USB cables and then the plugs here. One plug, the gray one, is actually running the Starlink right now. So you can see, I'll show you the output of that one. So that battery has been running the Starlink for, like, since I've been parked here, for about 20 minutes. It's only 18% down. You can see it's drawing 31 watts at the moment, and it's also powering this GPS mesh node tracker. So the reason I like the small Blue Eddy is because you can plug it into the vehicle, which will charge it while you're driving. And then once you turn the vehicle off, that battery keeps the internet going. Whereas if you plug the Starlink into the truck, it shuts off when the truck shuts off, and you don't want to leave the truck running because it's expensive in gas. But you've also got the large option here, but when it's dead, it's nice to have a small backup unit. Then at the end of the day, you've got the solar panel, which can charge this one off of this one and keep the entire network running. And I'll show you here on our app, you can see that the nodes that are all plugged in are online through the Starlink and reporting through that gateway, which is connected to here. So what I'm going to do is pretty soon I'm going to traverse out this way, and I'm going to set up one of the nodes with the battery pack, and then I'm going to continue on and transmit text messages back to this device here through my phone, only using a Bluetooth connection. I will not have cell service, I will not have Wi-Fi, and you'll be able to see how this solar setup powers the Starlink, can power the nodes, and can charge the Blue Eddy battery, even when it's cloudy, only producing 100 watts of power. The truck is just over that hill. You can kind of see it sticking out there. And I'm heading across the park with the portable battery that is connected to our wireless tracker that has a GPS unit on it. The goal of this test is a range test. So the other day I did 450 meters with just a node out away from the truck that was signaling back to the gateway that was plugged in to the truck at the Starlink. This time we're going to see how far we can get in terms of range when we set this one up part way as kind of like a repeater. Okay, so this is the first position of this node. I'm going to leave it here. You can kind of see it does have 38 satellites, so it is picking up location. Now we're going to go for a walk and see how far we get with the range. Well, a bit of a fail there on the first test, and we'll see if you can figure out why. This is the one that I took out to be the repeater. Following along, what is missing Well, I forgot to add the long range antenna. I've only got the GPS antenna. So I need to add an antenna to this slot. That way it'll have some range to it. I could text to that one just, within 50 to 60 meters without the antenna, but I'm going to add the antenna, go place it back out. But the good news is we were able to let the sun come out, and the Starlink is on the battery, charging at 170 watts. It's running the nodes, and we're still got 3%, so it's maintaining power. Luckily, I keep spare parts. You want to unplug the node before you install it because they're a little finicky, and if you actually start these boards up without an antenna attached, apparently you can burn them out. But that just clips into there, and we plug the power back on. It'll start up again, and now we're going to have that range. So we will run this again. I'm going to go a different direction this time because the first way I went, it kind of ends up in a little bit of a loop, and I didn't want to circle back on myself for the range test. So we're going to head out in a straight shot through this way, see how it goes. I'm going to leave the first node up here. It's yeah, a little probably wouldn't, this isn't the way I would do it all the time, actually, obviously, but I'm going to leave it here. And then we'll see how it acts as a repeater. This is about where I started to get a weak signal from my node to the truck. So with that repeater in the middle set up a little bit high, we'll see how that does. Another fail, because I was wondering why things weren't moving as quick, but this antenna off this node had come off. So I just put it back on, and we'll keep running through the test knowing that this node did not have the range that it should have. However, again, without it having an antenna, it actually worked pretty good. I changed the setup a little bit because I wasn't happy with hanging the battery in the tree. So what I've done is I've put this node on the battery and hung this one in a tree, and I'm going to carry this one with me. Now, I'm 368 meters from the truck. This is about where the signal was getting really disruptive using the normal small antenna, and I kind of put it at the edge of where the signal was not bad. I also, of course, found out that having my cell phone on with my cell phone's Wi-Fi on was not good for the signal, so I turned those off and I got a little bit of extra clearer signal. But we are in a park and there's some construction going on, so there is, a lot of people with cell phones and stuff around, which isn't helping. Then we got trees. But we'll walk out here and see how much further I can get with this unit and the one in the tree acting as a bit of a repeater back to the vehicle. I was really hoping to get a kilometer, but the furthest I made it was 735 meters away from the vehicle with the one repeater. So it makes sense. The repeater is at 368 meters from the truck. From the repeater, I'm 400 meters. So it looks like within this setting here, getting in that 370 to 400 meter range per node, just using Bluetooth, is the best I'm going to get today. Given that the one node has the stock antenna, this one is not up high, the one at the truck is not high. I think if I was in a fixed location where I could put the nodes up all with whip antennas at about 10 to maybe 20, 30 feet in the air, and there wasn't a lot of other signal interference around, you could maybe get a kilometer out of the 3, but still 735 meters is pretty good, especially if you're hiking or you're in a small community. I think if we doubled the nodes, obviously you're going to get to 1.5 kilometers. And that's a pretty decent distance if you're out camping, if you're out hiking. Pretty good. Still would have liked to have made it to a full kilometer, but that'll be the next test. I'm going to bring out, once I get the batteries that I've ordered and the additional antennas, then I'll be able to set up, I think I'll be able to set up about 5 or 6 nodes, and hopefully that'll get me a couple kilometers. Here's the convenient thing about having a wireless tracker. You can remember where you left it.